Hello students, this video lecture is about the agenda of meeting. Whenever any organizations are working, at that time they have to doing some meetings. So meetings may be arranged on the we can say the routine basis, maybe monthly, maybe quarterly, maybe yearly. In the every organization they have to arrange the meeting on the yearly basis is called the annual general meeting. Every meeting has an agenda and minutes of this meeting. So in this video lecture, I discuss about the agenda of meeting, how to write the agenda of meeting. In your GTU examination, they have to ask about the write the agenda of the particular meeting. So at that time, you have to write about the agenda of meeting. First of all, I given you the simple idea about the agenda of meeting. Agenda, it's a one type of we can say the objective or purpose of the meeting, that this type of meeting will arrange on this date, this venue, and there are the topics we'll discuss in the meeting. So agenda, we can say that the agenda is a some type of a simple summary of the meeting which will arrange in the future. Okay, so agenda is a one type of we can say the purpose or we can say objective to inform the overall participation of the organization. So here is the definition of the agenda. Agenda is a document that the outline and the contents for the upcoming meeting. It's a one type of we can say outline to given the information to the participation of the organization. Take the example, they gave the overall information to that stakeholders, maybe the shareholders, then employees, then board of directors, and the CEO. So it's given the total outline regarding we can say the given total information regarding the meeting which will conduct in the future. So it's usually sent along with the notice of the meeting. Whenever you write the agenda always conduct with the notice. Meetings run more effectively if everyone knows where the meeting is to be held and what is to be the discussed in the start and the finish time. So it is a good and practical. We can say that the out of the agenda at least a week before the held. Whenever you have to arrange a meeting in your organization, at that time you have to provide the agenda before 1 week, before the 1 week of your meeting. So your participation or we can say your overall employees and your shareholders get the idea about the what type of discussion will be conduct in the meeting, and they can also prepare the question regarding the meeting. Then after, various importance function of the agenda. What are the functions of agenda? First of all, it forces the meeting leader or a group to think about what need to be accomplished. Means it's create the one type of leadership and one type of group thinking. So the leader and group can get the idea that what type of topics which we help to consider in the meeting. Then the second one, it's a provide a blueprint or we can say the path of the meeting to follow. So there are given the overall blueprint that this topic will discuss on this time. This topic will be discussed by this BOD. Okay. So agenda will be prepared by the secretary. Okay, we can say there are the CS, means the company secretary have to prepare the agenda and minutes. And third one, it's the reminds the people of the where is the left to cover the time to gets to be an issue. Whenever the people have the requirement of the overall information, at that time they can get easily idea that in this time they have to discuss about this topic and at this time they have to discuss about this topic. So they can create a time saving of the overall participation. Then after, what are the purpose of agenda? Why we write the agendas? First of all, the main purpose of the meeting on agenda is to keep a meeting on the focus. Then second one, the agenda is a basically and the outline of the all topics that's the need to be covered during the course of the meeting. In the addition, there is a typically we can say the set of amount to time in which to cover the each topic in order to have a more productive and the faster meeting. If you already provide the outline of the meeting, so there are the less chances for the miscommunication and less chances for the time wasting. So easily you can discuss the which type of topic you have to already send to your participation. So participant can easily discuss about the topic, and it's create the good image and it's create the faster decision making process. Then after, when given in the advance of the meeting to participation, have to time to prepare any question and comment before the meeting. If you already provide the overall idea of your meeting before your meeting held, so your participation get the easily idea and they have to time to prepare the questions and comments regarding the meeting. Then after, what are the forms of agenda? The agenda is usually headed with the date, time, and the location of the meeting by the series of points outlining to be the under the meeting. Then after, here are the points which may be you have to conduct in the agenda. First of all, welcome and opening meeting, that you have to consider that this time, like take the example at the 9 p.m. there are the opening of the meeting and the welcome speech is given by this secretary or this chairperson. Then second one is the approve the minutes of the previous meeting. You have to approve that in the last meeting these type of things or this type of topics are discussed and this decision will be taken. So here you have to approve the minutes from the chairman. Then the third one, matters arise from the previous meeting, you have to consider it. Then the list of the specific point to be discussed, that take the example in the annual general meeting they have to discuss about the dividend policy. So you have to describe that this meeting is considering for the discussion of this decision, or we can say there are the dividend making policy. Then after, arrange and announce to be a detail for the next meeting. You have to already given the date for the tentative date to the next meeting. Then after, there are given the some snacks, or we may take the example, if your meeting is arranged in the afternoon, at the time some companies have to provide the lunch, some companies have to provide the snacks. Then after, closing of meeting will be arranged by, or we can say that held by this secretary or the chairperson. Then after, meetings and agenda sample, here you can see that first of all you have to write the heading. In the heading you have to consider the name of the club or venture of the venue of the meeting. First of all you have to consider the name of your company and the venue of the meeting whenever you arrange your meeting. Meeting of the management committee, you have to consider the management committee which you have to consider this meeting. Then the date of the meeting, on the which date this meeting will be arranged. Then agenda and agenda items, means you have to consider in the agenda first of all attendance. You have to consider the attendance whenever you write the agenda or considering the minutes. So attendance is very important. Then after, apologize names. Then after, minutes of the previous meeting. And last one is to be a move that the minutes of the meetings had date to be a confirm as the correct record. You have to consider the last previous year's meeting, and then after you have to correct information on the this date this type of meeting will be happen. Then after, the sample of agenda, here is a sample of agenda. The meeting of the next empirical Infosys meeting of the board of director will be taken a place on the Monday, there are the 18th May 2004 at the 11 a.m. in the conference room. Here you can see there are the name of the company, then have the date of the which date they have to be considered this meeting, then the time of this meeting. Then after, the agenda, you write that the agenda is minutes of the last meeting. Then second one, the matter arising from the minutes. Then financial irregularities in the Patan branch, in the Patna branch. Then after, recognition of the work Ahmedabad branch. then any other business and the date of the next meeting. Whenever in your examination you have to write about the agenda, at that time you have to write first of all the company's name, then the venue of the meeting, then the date of meeting and the time of meeting. Then after you have to consider the agenda. In the agenda you have to consider the previous year's minutes of meeting, then the secretary's name, the committee's member's name, then the topics which will you discuss in your meeting, you have to consider it. Then after you give the tentative date of the next meeting. Then after, here is some suggestion is given to that, whenever you arrange the meeting is to be considered from the 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. so it's a easily conversation between the participation. So here is the overall idea about the agenda. So you will be prepared about the agenda. In your examination, I marked that in your GTU examination they have to ask letter, report and agenda and minutes both. So you have to prepare about it. Thank you. If you have any query, so you can ask me. Thank you so much.